Welcome to the first Cellar Talks podcast based at Cellar Tapes in Bristol. Big up all the Bristol heads. This is the first one with Zonae.
Yeah.
Before we got on, we just had a little chat about how you actually say his name, because I'm very terrible with names.
Yeah, no, it's just Zonae.
Zonae.
You could say it how you want, though. To be fair, it's not that deep.
How did the name come out?
I typed in Google for like 4-letter words in just any language, just 4-letter words, 5-letter words, and I just picked out of like big lists. I wrote a few down on a bit of paper.
Oh.
I just thought it looked nice.
It's no Wu-Tang generator and that, then.
Nah, no. I see. I did look at a lot of them websites and nothing came out. They were all corny. But yeah, so like, what about you? Where'd you get J Favours from?
So J Favours I got from doing. Basically, it used to be called JV because that's just my initials, and then I was just like, that's a bit batty. So I was coming up with a new alias, and then everyone used to call me Favours because I used to do a lot of favours because I got a car and all my mates are lazy shit. Like, you know who you are. And I just like used to be whipping them about and that. And then everyone started calling me J Favours. There is another reason behind it, but I'm not just going to disclose that on a on a podcast sort of thing. I'll tell you after why. Like, obviously, I'm J Favours. I've been producing for a while now, since I was probably about 14-year-old, and now 24. What about you?
Yeah, I was probably exactly the same, 14, 15. What software did you use when you started off though?
Cubase. Then Reason. The first track I ever made on like a DAW was it was a metal tune, and it was it was just like me just like tremolo in the guitar, just go.
Just guitars.
Yeah, just guitar and like a really crap drum beat.
Yeah, that's nuts. That guy, I used to do metal as well.
Yeah.
You know those Session Pro drum kits?
Yeah.
I had a bass drum, a snare drum, and some like ratty hi-hats.
Ratty hi-hats.
Just horrible, like they were just bashed up and that.
Yeah,
it was like proper horrible hi-hats, and I used to just bash some like metal beats out and then make some metal over that.
What bands did you used to listen to?
I used to listen to a lot of like it was either like classic rock, new metal, any sort of metal I was like proper into. But then my dad also used to listen to like The Prodigy and people like that. So it was like literally everything.
Yeah, there was I used to listen to metal, and I used to listen to Megadeth and Metallica, Slayer, all the things that are just really fast, like 200 BPM wise.
Yeah.
See, I listened to metal, and then I listened to Distance when I was like, was this 2008? I was listening to Distance for the first time, and it was like Concrete. Do you know Concrete by Distance?
I've definitely heard the tune Concrete.
Yeah, it's on his first. I think it's his first album.
In fact, I think you've shown me it. I think
you
showed me it at some point.
Yeah, I love Distance. So you think he's a bad man? Big up Distance. Yeah. So the point of these podcasts is like we're doing them. So you said it before the interview in a better description, I believe. So I'll leave it to Zonae.
I think one of the best reasons to start a podcast like we're trying to do at the moment, the main reason is just to sort of get producers or musicians, bands, whatever, in a room to talk, because there's a lot of podcasts out that are just sort of mixes, and you can kind of hear they talk in between the songs and stuff like that, but there's not really like, you're not really getting like who they are, and you're not finding like you're not finding out about the sort of person that they are, and you can really kind of
behind the scenes sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it's just like a long form interview with some people. There's just interviews everywhere that are just like 8 minutes, 10 minutes long.
And then the producers just looking there like, oh, I don't want to be here, like making tunes.
Or they have like really like excited answers, and
Yeah.
then they get cut off because there's a time limit, and they
Yeah.
can't really expand on it.
Yeah, because then you have like some like girl who's like just been doing presenting for about 10 years goes, oh, how do you make dubstep?
Yeah.
I like your wob.
Have you ever had any groupies backstage?
Yeah, definitely.
How much drugs do you do?
So we're going to be asking producers. So if there's any producers or MCs, or you just like in the Bristol music scene, or even
Anywhere.
yeah, anywhere,
Worldwide.
like, come through in it. We'll Skype you if you're like from America, and we're just like, I know it'd be 4:00 in the morning when we're.
Well, yeah, I've got a few people lined up from mainland Europe, which is only a couple of hours.
Yeah, a couple hours
in the
more.
future. So
Yeah. Whereabouts? Who?
I got a guy from Austria called Cellar.
Oh.
He's been to Bristol before. I've put him up in my student accommodation about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he loves it. He loves being in like places like Bristol and London. He actually was on a show, you know, the Intellectuals with like Cursor and Sepper and them lot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he played a show on a boat in the Thames.
That reminds me of the Dizzy Rascal video. That does a boat on the Thames. You ever seen just a Rascal video?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it was like docked. I don't think it was like floating. I think it's, you know how like Cellar.
Yeah.
It's just a boat in a river. I think it was just kind of like.
My mate's done it on the Bristol one. Big up Soul Shake. They done like a boat party. I was gonna go,
really?
but I'm a recluse, so I'd never go out anywhere. I'm a busy guy. J Fave's busy, and it pissed down.
Nah, that's cool though. It's like that's like, well, didn't like the Sex Pistols do that or something in the 60s, 70s? Like they took a boat down the Thames and they were.
Didn't come back.
They pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, well, it was Sex Pistols. What do you expect? They piss everyone off. We got some people lined up. I've been speaking to a few people. Like big up my MC. He ain't got. He's changed his alias. It used to be Anis. Now it's Doc T. Big up Doc T. He's wearing a mask on his face, getting that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like LD from 6'7".
Yeah, not that sort of mask, because I'm not that intimidating. Like I'm talking about just like one of them doctor's masks.
Oh right, yeah. Okay. He's not trying to hide his face from the.
But to be fair, he had it on when we was recording one of the tunes from the EP.
Does it sound quite clear through the?
Yeah, because it gets rid of his S's.
Oh, it's like it's just like an attached pop shield.
Yeah, he started, like I got the clearest rhymes out I've ever got from him.
That's decent.
Yeah, so big ups you if you're trying to get rid of your sibilance on your vocalists. Just buy a doctor's mask and put it over them.
That's a good. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna buy like a job lot of them off eBay.
Yeah, you'll get them for
Just
£1 or for about 10 or something like that from China. So, what you been making recently?
I've been making a lot of 140 triplet type dub and grime beats, which are gonna be sent out somewhere. But
I'd call that the Bristol sound nowadays.
I think it's just like I sent a few tunes to my mate Soma, and he was like, he didn't mean it in like a bad way, but he was just like, everyone's doing that sort of triplet 140, just like grimy dub, like dark sound. It's not even like, look, you can't pin it down to one area. It's just everyone,
Yes.
especially in the UK and that.
Yeah, like my boys do it. Big up Coma. He's on the triplet high. If you ever heard of Coma, he's got big things coming. He's a part of Chunk Mob and that. He should be on soon. Like I will definitely get him down because I know how lazy he is, but he's got that triplet fire. Yeah.
Like, honestly, you could name any amount of people like Argo and that.
Argo just released a new tune today. Actually,
Oh, did he?
It come out on Rinse. I forgot what it was called. It was a remix of. I'm not gonna remember the name because I'm terrible with tune names. But yeah, it came out on Rinse and it was pretty fucking fire. I like where it's going, but it's not gonna be. I don't think it should be classed as dubstep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's evolving, isn't it? It's like.
Yeah.
It's like anything really, but it's like what I've noticed is a lot of new producers now. Like Accept Right, he had this tune called Forward March.
Yeah.
And it was like, I seen all the comments on it were like, this is like old school Marla, like DMZ type stuff, and it was mad like how it was like a lot of people at like Nova as well. If you listen to Nova and that,
Yeah, I've heard.
there's like a bunch of people who are just doing like the sort of, it's like new sounding, but it's like throwback to like proper
old school dub.
And it is like, it's interesting because it's like evolving, but at the same time it's like throwing.
You've got so many subgenres, but I wouldn't like to call it subgenres. It's like, you know, when people go deep techno, deep house,
Yeah.
deep house.
Post dubstep was one which I
Oh.
couldn't fucking hack, man.
Oh mate, it's silly really. But like that's the reason why I've gone down to like one. Like I am making dubstep, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm making it at 130 and like 124 because you hearing all this like 124 grime and that. Because if you like, I listen to a lot of trap and everything, and
Yeah.
I get they're all like at 124 and they're the steppers. And if the snares on the free and it's not bait and it's not got no bait rises and that, and it's just deep subby and that, but you got an MC absolutely going triplets over the top.
Yeah.
That's what I'm into at the moment. And then like,
Well, I mean that's a good thing for like sets as well, because if you like trap and you like dub sounding stuff, you're gonna want to be able to mix like with some like anthems, like trap anthems, and that's something I've tried to do in the past. There's like only a couple of decent tunes that I want to throw in a mix that are trap and 140, and they're always like it's either like some Rick Ross like proper like Port of Miami, like yeah, or it's like Meek Mill. Like, have you ever heard that tune "Pray for Him" by Meek Mill? Where it's like and it's like got all the choirs and stuff in the background. They're all like they're kind of they're not bad tunes, but they are a little bit kind of like a bit corny, a bit like.
There's corny trap, then there is like I'm telling you now, yeah, ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg, all of that. Like Harlem is taking over trap.
Yeah, well, I rinsed that Still Striving album like every single day. Every single day I rinse it, man.
Yeah, I like. Did you listen to Dave East?
Well, I mean, that's the only reason. That's the only reason I've heard of Dave East is that his features and that.
Yeah, right. He's just released a mixtape called Karma.
Yeah.
It's got some fire beats on it. Like this guy, it's produced by a guy called DJ Holiday.
Yeah.
And it's like it's on that bit, you know, on that piff when he goes, thatpiff.com and all. It's got one of them over, but it's just pure rhythm after rhythm of him just using his techers really.
Yeah, no, I need to listen to more Dave East. I was literally listening to the Joe Budden thing this afternoon, and they were talking about how a lot of people know of Dave East, but his music's not like he's not getting the same exposure as like these other rappers.
Yeah, like you think of it, what other rappers you think that Dave East could walk all over? Like I'm talking shit on.
Yeah.
And then you've got Lil Yachty or
Lil Yachty,
yeah. I see. I can't fucks with them sort of people, innit? Like
I don't know. I think he's done some more like I wouldn't say like they're good tunes, but like you know if you if you're of a certain age and you wanted happy music, like he has a tune with is it Drum?
Yeah.
And it's like there's like it's a really funny video. I only listened to it because I saw the video, and it's like they have like big heads on these really small bodies, and it's all really sort of cartoonish and colourful.
Yeah.
And it was like the tune wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my sort of thing. But it was just kind of like you can tell that his when you hear music that's not been edited and his voice hasn't been edited that much, he can't rap on a beat, and he has to be with a producer who can cut every single sort of like syllable so it fits with the thing. And I'm just.
Big up them producers, innit? Like, big up the graft producers who are just cutting up trap vocals for a living and making P off it. But then the trap producer, the trap rapper, is making all the P.
Yeah.
But it's like I was talking to someone yesterday about Drake, yeah, and he must have a team. He must walk in, do his thing, walk out. Then it's his team's problem. They got the guy who does the mix down, got the master, they've got the whole media team, the marketing team.
Well, do you see that? Do you see the stuff with Drake and his Scary Hours artwork that he just?
Oh yeah,
he he chawed it off. What's his name? Is it Rabbit? The producer from like Glacial Sound and that.
Yeah.
He produced that song with Rico Dan, the Black Dragon one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's Rabbit.
Shit.
And he's just like it was like his poster or something like that, and and Drake just like because he does that, doesn't he? He sees something, or someone on his team sees something, and they say like, "Oh, this is what's like." I like the aesthetic of that, and they just take it, but like make little differences to it. But it was like the original one was like black and then some white font and then pink, and he just did black, white font, red. Like he didn't even change it that much, and it was like almost the same like gothic type font.
Come on, Drake, you better than that. What new music have you been listening to in?
Oh, do you know what? I need to ask you what you're working on.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What I'm working on.
What you're working on in terms of music? Because I just spoke for like 7 years on what I'm doing. And
It's alright. What I'm doing, we see at Cellar Tapes, we've got a little collective going on. But the thing is, I'm sitting on my tunes.
yeah,
I'm not one of these. I got something coming for next week sometime. Like what you just heard it before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that out. But there's no point. See, I've made in the last 2 years, I've made 50 tunes that I'm sticking to. There's obviously sketches and everything, and I put stuff out, but I'm not the one for like dick riding my own music. Going, check my music out. I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Listen to this fucking mad tune I just made.
Listen to this.
Like, I swear that was the first thing I said when I came in. It was like, literally, oh, you got to check this tune I made this morning, giving you the hard drive on that. Like.
No, obviously I showed Bods my tunes and that.
Yeah.
But no, I just don't know. I just find it cringeworthy, like going, check my 5 beat, like posting on like Lengoland. No offense to Lengoland and that.
Yeah. You see that a lot.
Yeah, but like you got Steve. His name's DJ Steve, and you got Mikey Mike. And they're in their bedroom, and they're going, check out my new beat. And then you see, like, they bounce it out, and they've got no EQ on it, no EQ, no compression. It's just, like, pure bass. And when I was coming up in the producer, I was just like, yeah, everything just needs to be subby as fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm not one to release anything, but I'm sitting on a few. We got an EP coming with Doc T.
Yeah, are you sending to any labels? Or
Huh?
Are you sending to labels, or is it all independent?
We starting our own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we starting our own. We're not.
What's your demo submission email? I'll send you a few tunes.
Yeah.
Listen to my fire beat, James.
Yeah, at least, yeah. No, we're thinking like everything step by step. We got Cellar Tapes rolling now. We're producing bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Big up the Bristol bands and like coming out and doing their thing. I done a recording a few weeks ago with a band called Moth, and they got a tune coming out called Flutter in a few months, and that was pretty cool to sit in on that for a couple of days and recording that. And I've been recording. I've probably got seven tunes ready for an EP or album. We're not too worried. Like we've been
that's with Anis.
With Doc T, innit? Doc T. Big up Bryn, innit? Big up Bryn. We got and Mobes as well. My boy from back home. He probably will be on this soon, but like he's a recluse like me. So we just make beats and don't see anyone.
Yeah. That's how it's gonna be. It's gotta be.
But
like
that's really what I'm doing at the moment. Like we got some fire in the booth, you know.
And I mean you're a busier man than I am. Like,
yeah. I saying this yet. Any DJs that want to come through and do a live stream, hit me up. Because we're going to be doing that soon. We're going to try and start some sort of radio thing. I know I sound like I'm going to take over the world, but like, it's got to be done, innit?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't offer it out there, no one will come.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, do you want to do one?
Yeah, I'll do one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bring my MIDI controller down, my new mark.
What if we got Serato for you?
Nah, do you know what? I'm gonna start getting to places with gear that I'm not particularly like knowledgeable on, and I'm just gonna practice because I know my mate Nick Prisma, he's got some CDJs, and he said like a bunch of times just come over and we can have like a practice like B2B set. You can get to know how to use like CDJs and that.
I made their toys. The thing is, I was mixing like I got CDJs back at Yard, innit?
Yeah. And
I was like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna have like a 2, 3, 4 tune blend, and I was just pressing Q, and then I lift that tune up, and it's in time, and like so easily in time. Obviously, if you're gonna move the pitch, but it's just with vinyl, like I feel like I hear. It's like do you watch Star Wars?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're in like with CDJ.
The force.
Yeah, you're using the force, and you're checking.
Yeah, no, no, I know what you're saying because I've. That's the one thing that I have been on. I've been on little MIDI controllers, and I've tried to mix vinyl as well. But I was like trying to mix like 2D&V tunes, and the guy was just watching me, and he was like trying to give me tips, and I was like, nah, because it was like one of those things. It was a day workshop, so you like, and there was about 15 of us who were wanting to mix.
See,
so
we're
you could,
we're
like,
gonna start doing that at studio.
start doing that, but then just invite me in, and I can have like 6
Yeah,
hours practicing. Like,
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, we got things coming up. You said about getting who do you think we're gonna get down on this, like coming in a few weeks?
well, I think in the next few weeks, I spoke to Lewis, who is he goes under the name Muller.
Muller.
Muller, I think it's Muller. I don't think it's Muller.
Imagine that, Muller Rice.
Muller, yeah, Muller Rice. But he said he would come in,
Yeah.
and I know Nick Bell, who's Prisma.
Yeah.
He'll definitely come
I'm
in.
interested in speaking to Brisbane.
Yeah, no, he's a nuts producer and he's a sound guy. So
Yeah. So yeah, because I'm gonna try and bring through Coma, who else? Precision, one part of Coherent. I spoke to him about it. He's doing some fire bits on Shogun at the moment. Him and Subdivision, like they're absolutely killing it at the moment. They're they've had a release out on Shogun, and then they've been only together for like 9 months. Or
that's
something.
nuts. Like Shogun's a good label.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like big ups to them. They're doing their bits. Yeah, I wouldn't disclose the information that I knew from looking over their shoulders in when we're watching telly. Yeah, with the mixes, with the live streams, we've got first one we're gonna do. We're gonna have J Favours Modes, episode 1 live stream. Then we're gonna have Waller. Big up Ben Waller. He is, this guy has got the selection of dubstep. Like, I'm talking. So we counted his vinyl the other day. We was having a blend.
Yeah.
He had 400 dubstep vinyls, but they're 4 tracks, 2 tracks, LPs. I was like working it out in my head, and I was like, how many tunes that? Must be 3,000-4,000 dubstep tunes he has in crates.
Yeah, definitely invite me down for that one. I need to hear that.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely invite you down for that one. And then episode 3, we're gonna try and convince Coma to come down. He doesn't know if he's gonna have a Coma and Friends, and you know a Coma and Friends would be interesting because he's part of Chunk Mob, but we ain't disclosing that information because I don't know what he's gonna do. I left it up to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got something what's coming out very soon.
Exclusive dubs.
Yes,
man.
He's got something what is coming out, which is one of the biggest tunes of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not disclosing that tune. And it got given to him the other day, and I was just looking at it, and I was just like, right, how, and he's got in dubs today. He's speaking to numerous, like, I hate being on the microphone and like not disclosing, but sorry people, like can't do that stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean that means you can come back in the future when that tune is released, and you can be like, I told you, it's on record. I said this tune. I didn't mention the name, but
I know when it's coming out and stuff.
So when it comes out, you can tell everyone. I told you. I knew it was coming. The Prophet.
Have you been watching anything recently? What's interesting you?
In terms of music or in terms of just TV in general?
Is there anything like? Because obviously, is there anything you've been watching recently where you can get samples out of, and you're like, oh, that's a bang little sample.
Well, nah, not really. What I've been sampling, because I don't things that I watch are usually like some just like Netflix series and that. So you can't really sample like American Horror Story and that. You can't really sample from that unless it's like some sort of stabbing. Horrible gory sound. But talking about that, I got a sample pack with like Skyrim sounds from the video game.
Yeah.
And I've been making all of my like percussion. I've been using like sword swipes and stuff like that, and just like all these like there's one which is like it's like a warhammer smashing through a door. I've just been layering all these. I'll need to send you the pack because it's literally every single weapon sound of Skyrim. And for perks and stuff like that, getting like little metallic sort of sounds to add to like a snare or something like that. it's just
Naughty.
it's the best. Yeah, it's naughty.
I was listening to the Fargo soundtrack the other day,
Yeah,
and
the film of the series.
this,
Is it the one that was on Channel 4?
yeah, I think it's the film. I'm not.
It's like-
I'm not actually. I'm not. I think it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think they were both on Netflix. There was the Coen Brothers film from like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then there's a series that was on.
Yeah, the series. Yeah,
Yeah,
that. I went on Spotify and I was just like listening through some of the tracks what they had.
Yeah.
There were so many open drum breaks. There was just like there was blues singing without no drums. I was just like, if anyone wants some sick samples, but buy it.
Buy it legally.
Yeah, buy it legally. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna torrent this right now.
Don't go to BitTorrent and download
uTorrent,
it.
No, none of that. Buy it, or just go through the Spotify and then look for the records on Discogs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Or if you're in Bristol, go to Prime Cuts.
Big up Prime Cuts. We know where we are with that one.
No, mate. Honestly, right. They're little like because they have like a section which has like it's exclusively effects, and it's just vinyl. But it's like BBC sound effects, like RSPB, like bird sounds, like
is
nature
it underneath
stuff like
the
that.
deck?
This is like on top, so it's like you've got all the sort of like there's like it's basically in the world music section.
Oh yeah.
Where they have like all of the dancehall and stuff like that, and the Latino tunes and stuff like that.
When you go in there next time, go underneath the deck.
Yeah.
It's his samples. He puts it in there for just like drum breaks and stuff. And he'll write on there, drum break at like...
Oh, so it's like underneath all of the other vinyl. It's like all the boxes underneath.
Yeah, under the vinyl player, and then there's that one under there.
Yeah.
And then opposite that, it's got like old school like scratcher vinyl and all of that.
Yeah, that's sick. That whenever I've been in, there's always been somebody like on the actually on the decks and messing around with it.
Yeah,
so I've literally never like ventured.
Yeah,
ventured through.
I went with Mobes quite a while ago. Yeah, this guy, he could go in there for 7 hours.
Yeah.
He'd be on the deck the whole time. He'd be picking up. Yeah, he have no. If he hasn't, he'll listen to it. Yeah. But he'll have he'll say, oh, I've got 25 quid to spend. He'll go out to a till with 15, 16. And they go, 50 quid, and he'll be like, can you do 45? And he always ends up spending like £25 more than he wanted to.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, however, it might have worked for him in the past where he's bartered them down.
Yeah.
To 25 quid.
Oh no, the guy's sound, isn't he? He does
He's
bar.
awesome.
He does bar. So like, fair play. Like I'll go up to him with 2 vinyls because I'm a tight guy, and then he'll be like, I'll do it for 13 instead of 15. I'll big up. So that £2 can give me a drink.
Yeah.
I bought 2 records the other day, and I was in the studio with my boy Chris. Big up Chris. We went on this one person's. I'm not going to disclose the name or anything.
Yeah,
but we went on this one person's site, and he was like, "Don't order off there." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "I've been waiting 6 weeks for a vinyl."
It's a long time.
Yeah, it had fire dub plates on there though. Like they were selling fucking Education for like 150 quid or something like that. Big up the DMZ crew. But then I was like, oh yeah, I was going down, and then I clicked on one, and then it had the record I wanted. Ended up being White Peach.
Oh, really?
I'm just like he gets about, doesn't he? Like, I forgot his actual the actual Discog name for White Peach, but
yeah.
The service you get in White Peach is big up Zara in it. Like he's doing his bits.
Yeah. He definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had a few releases recently.
Tycho's one of the best producers I've ever heard. Like.
It's just there's nothing bad that they've put out. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. It's a bit. It's on the borderline of dubstep and grime, isn't it?
Sent a few tunes to them. Me and Prisma sent a tune to them, and they were just kind of like looking at it in hindsight, it wouldn't have looked right on White Peach. But at the time we just wanted to get a song on.
Yeah, that's the thing though. That when you make a tune and you're like, look, this is I used to send tunes to labels and stuff. But no, I got the anxiety of sending the tunes away. Like that's why I keep them boxed up. Like my box of dubs.
No, I like sending them off because like in the past, I've literally had like brutal responses from people because it's only in like the last 2 years that I've started making anything like worth actually like releasing or sending to anyone, and it's because I've actually focused on trying to produce something like particular. Everything else has just kind of been experiments
Yeah,
and that. But the people have said to me like some like harsh like, why are you even sending this to a label type shit? And every time they've done it, I've just sat there for like a couple of days, like not happy, but like, right, I've got to do something. But then every time somebody tells me something like that, I've gone right, okay, fuck that. I'm just gonna hammer on harder, and I'm gonna make it the next batch of tunes I make is gonna be infinitely better. And it like that's why I still send stuff. Like I send stuff to DJs,
Yeah.
and other producers and that. You know, like when they have their.
Yeah, but some of the stuff you been sending me recently has been fucking fuck.
But until it's right, I'm still gonna keep.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna keep sending it because I've been sending like things like people like Big Zoo and Spyro and all these people and that. Nah, well I mean I was sending stuff to Big Zoo when he was just on the Grime Report singing. He hadn't really released any sort of like anything that like blew up. He hadn't released anything like that. He was just doing like radio sets and he was putting in his own work, and I was sending tunes that like I thought were good at the time, but obviously they weren't going to get picked up. But I was just doing it as like a practice for like, if I keep sending people tunes, like I sent Spooky tunes, Spyro, Scully from Represent Radio, just all these people, and I just figure like even if they don't rate the tunes at the moment, when something comes up that they do like, it'll be like a familiar, like this guy he's not just like appeared out of nowhere. He has like been working on.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
you could probably they might like listen to.
See, I do agree with that respect.
Yeah.
Like, but.
Well, it's just different people.
Yeah.
Like.
I've got a tune called Funky, and
that's a mad tune. That.
Someone said to me recently, "You should send this to Spooky." Do you think I sent it to Spooky?
No, but you should. You should because I know a lot of people who send stuff to Spooky. This Toka guy who I'm trying, American guy, we should get on this show.
Yeah.
He's like he sends stuff to Spooky, or he did, and now Spooky won't do a set, or he doesn't do sets without playing this guy. Like every single set he does on Mode FM, he seems to have Toka tunes in there, and it's like just like he's like. If you don't ask, you don't get type shit. Like
yeah, I do agree with that. So,
and if it's one tune, I mean, because I've sent stuff to him, and I know he's like he probably hasn't even listened to it, but he's just like he put a nice little message in there, like I rate your radio set, and he might read it and think, oh well, listen to these guys' tunes.
I rate your radio.
I'm a big fan. First time caller.
Yeah.
Long time listener. First time caller. But like, no, do you know what I mean?
He's done it a few times.
I send stuff like all the time to people, like, but that's like, but I was never like that apart from with those YouTube promotion sites and stuff like that, where it's just like, because that was one thing where, because you just like you got a guy in his bedroom and he's like listening to Future Garage tunes, and then you send like a Future Garage tune and they go like, oh, this is good, and they're not like trying to be cool, they just want to put content on the YouTube channel and that, and I've had some decent uploads, like,
yeah, fair play,
but it's just you have to be like relentless with it, and if you don't like the criticism as well, it's like you just have to turn it into something useful.
But if someone says like with criticism, like I give criticisms on tunes when someone sends me their tunes and that, but when someone goes, this is fucking awful, this, that, and other. Come on, stop being brutal on the person. They've just made a tune. They think it's good.
No, it is. I agree with that. There's a guy called Sanj, right? He's from New York.
Yeah.
And I sent him a tune.
Yeah.
It was a remix of one of his tunes, and his response was, "Mixed down is shit. I like the idea of the song." And his way of producing his own tunes is just like bashing a limiter and a compressor on like every instrument, so it's all super loud and super saturated. And he was talking to me like he was, I don't know, like
what on every channel he's like smashing a limiter.
I don't know. I mean, his mix downs aren't good, and my mix downs aren't good either. But his, like, at the time, I was like popcorn kettle black. Like, how is he gonna say that about mine when his mix downs aren't too good either? But then I went to remix his track and he just didn't want it and said it was shit. But like, you can be an asshole about it and say someone's tune is shit. And that's your choice if you want to be one of them producers. Yeah, you can do that. But
yeah, you big-headed producers.
Yeah, you better hope that the producer you're saying is shit isn't like, right, oh, I'm gonna make like music better than you. It's like a revenge thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, but I think it's good. It's a good like it gets you kind of motivated to
Yeah.
be better.
I agree. I've had some criticism in the past, like, but I make weird tune. I go for dubstep and it ends up sounding like fucking funky.
Yeah.
Like that funky tune. You know, Conference by Digital Mystics.
Yeah.
Right, that was the original idea. I was like listening to that, and I was like,
behind it.
I've got to make that tune. So I was doing I was cutting up some bongo breaks and stuff, and I got a similar pattern.
Yeah.
And then I made this sub, and it was just the woo, 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 and I was like, that sounds like Danny Weed.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's why I think you should send it to someone like Spooky, because his, you know, when he releases those like huge like zip folders full of like dubs and stuff that he's got on his computer. That's like such a variety of different like like the rhythms. He's not sticking to like straight up rhythms. He has a lot of stuff which is like danceable, funky stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it would literally
because I played it out. I played it out in Blue Mountain last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this tune's getting on now. It's past its second birthday. No, when I made it in third year of uni. So it's probably reaching like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And what was I saying? It was talking about I played it in Blue Mountain, and everyone was like boogieing and all that, and then I played like a tune after which I thought was banging.
Yeah.
I mixed this tune into funky. I think it was like Spooky or Spyro or something like that.
Yeah.
And everyone didn't rate it.
Oh right.
And I was just like, I literally love this tune. I don't know how like they're not going. I think it's a proper like one of the Spookies ones where it's like blum 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 blum, like just cutting and fading and all that. Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, I don't really rate that," and I was like, "Oh, that's peak." But that's the sort of crowd you get when you play out, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, I don't really play out, but
he makes banging tunes. He's got a website now, so we like I gotta give you.
I'm gonna have to start playing out.
If you don't start playing, you gotta start playing out soon, innit?
I mean, it's just for the experience. Like, I just need to start, because I think that'll take my tunes up another level. Because I only recently started out properly structuring tunes, and I realised that a lot of the stuff that I was sending to people and sending to labels for releases and stuff, a lot of the things I've got on Bandcamp, which I really like, but they're not structured. There's like literally no structure. The intros are too long. There's too much atmosphere in the middle of the song, all that kind of stuff. And I realised
what's too much atmosphere?
No, but I mean, this is the thing. So when I was listening to like every tune that I rated that was like dubstep or grime, there was like not sort of like, oh, it's kind of like a formula and how you can get like cohesive like mixes when you're mixing your own tunes into someone else's.
Yeah.
Like when I started doing that, I started noticing things like when my kicks aren't hitting hard enough, or you know, the subs like muddying out everything else in the mix and stuff like that. And that was only because I started listening to my tunes through like the lens of being a DJ and trying to mix it with like a Khan and Neek tune or something like that, where they're like proper pro like mix downs and structures and stuff like that, and I'm just there like I was a bit lazy with it, and I was just kind of saying like, oh, I don't need to structure, I can go my own way. And it's like,
you can't really do that if someone you want to blend, like, you know, like Miracles from Mala and stuff.
Yeah.
So that tune has 2 seconds of silence, so it does its 16.
Yeah.
And after the 16, there's an extra 2 bars. Or it might be the other way around, like, and it drops, and you actually can't. No, it's not. No, it's Eyes BIP, I believe it is.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and then Miracles has got something stupid like that as well. But it's Mala, you can do that. He's the big OG, big up Mala.
Like half of them tunes as well. There's like a little bit of an intro, and then there's literally like 6 minutes of just dum, 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 dum. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I got mirrors down there, and it. Like, some of the tunes are mixable, some of them are just like what's accordion, aren't they? The accordion.
Yeah.
He had an accordion going for like 2 minutes, and then it just went boom, 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 boom. Like, you know how it does. But
it's like trying to mix Burial as well. If you ever try and mix Burial,
yeah. We've done the
It's possible, but you have to. You can't like. It's not something you can
Well,
just
it
line up
depends
and
what
let it
tune
go.
it is, because remember some of the tunes he made on that. What was it? Did you watch the documentary?
I watched the thing of how he made Untrue
Yeah.
with like Archangel and that.
Yeah, with Archangel and stuff, and the thing he was using, this DAW. It wasn't a DAW.
Yeah, it
it
was.
was
What is it called? It's not Rapture.
I'm gonna sample that, by the way. Oh.
No, it's no, because Reaper. No, it's cinema. Oh, it was like a film thing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. It wasn't even.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna mix?
Soundforge.
How
Yeah,
are you
fucking-
gonna mix that?
Yeah, nah. Well, I mean,
Because it's not got a grid.
yeah, no quantization. But I mean, that's what. I mean, that's why he's good. But I mean, I've tried mixing. In fact, my friend who I had over yesterday, who was trying to mix, he was literally trying to mix. He was just doing it by tempo, and obviously with the software I've got, it gives like an attempt at like this is like the tempo we can give it.
Yeah,
With a lot of the burial tunes, it just wasn't coming up with one.
Yeah, because they haven't
'Cause
got
they can't
one.
calculate it. So it was just like he was trying to mix stuff in, and it was just because when I'm doing that, I'm like, it's literally just hard cut an effect. So it just like there's a reverb.
You can mix
tail on the tune,
Archangel. You can mix Archangel.
Yeah, I mean it's possible, but you just have to put effort in, don't you? Yeah.
Literally, you
Slow
gotta
it down.
we gotta move that forward, innit? You gotta move it forward. Yeah, I think mixing burial, like me and Mobes always blending. Like we used to have like 7-hour blends at my old house. Big
Yeah.
up the neighbours, because they didn't like us.
Mine don't either.
That's why I got a studio now. Big up.
It's the only reason.
Yeah, no. Alright, last year there. So me and Mobes, like, I'll get him on soon, and we'll explain it. You might think we're dickheads for doing this, but there was like 14, 15 people living under one roof, and they had a camera outside their yard
Oh yeah.
looking into the street. So we're like, yeah, something dodgy must be going on here. And we used to just like mix till 7, 8 at night, and then it gets she would go on for another 4 hours, and then we go to 12 o'clock at night. We used to get comb around as well, and we used to get wall around. Like we used to always just blend.
Yeah.
One time it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and like we got a ding on the doorbell. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking like a
Yeah.
There was a guy in the middle of the door standing in his boxers.
He was that enraged.
Yeah,
had to
and
come
he
down in his boxers.
he was Polish, and
Yeah.
he was screaming at us in Polish.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I'm if you don't know me, I'm 5'7". If you know Mobes, he's 6'4". Mobes was putting his head round the corner at the top of the stairs, and I'm answering the door. Like, what's going on there, Mobes? He's gonna have to explain that to me. But yeah, that sort of thing we used to do at the with blending. We used to blend like 7 hours a day and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be that guy who fucks off the neighbours anymore. We live above a shop now.
Oh really?
Yeah, and she downstairs doesn't like dubstep.
What?
Yeah, what? No, why don't you like dubstep? Like Malorhythms, but she goes, "Can you turn that sub down?" And then you got Max in the other room cranking tunes up, making that fire heat for the chunk mob, and it's just nuts.
Yeah, it's never good. Like, there's I knew someone who used to live above this barber's, like around the Hippodrome.
Yeah.
You know the one I was telling you that blasts drum and bass all the time.
Yeah.
And she said that whenever she would like wake up at like 6 in the morning, or rather, he would blast these drum and bass mixes, and it's not even like horrendously loud. It's just because he has like a decent like system in his barber's. Like,
I see one in his.
yeah, he's got a void system in his barber's, but he's like. He just plays it, and it's like obviously the sub like goes through the floorboards and stuff like that, and she so many complaints, but it's his shop, so he's just like, I'm not. You can make any complaints, but I'm not gonna stop doing it.
I'm filtering myself now, but because I agree with the saying of complaints. Yeah, can you, if you went downstairs and say, can you turn it down? Yeah, fair enough. But if you're writing to the council to get them, like, because if you get to the council like a few times,
Yeah.
they can seize all your equipment. Like,
It makes it like an actual like matter as opposed to sorting out human to human.
nah,
It just it shows that you're like afraid of like confronting people yourself, which is why
you're just getting the man to do it.
Well, yeah, the man.
The man.
That's why I rate the neighbours next door, because they come around and they say, like, they literally look you in the eye and say, "Can you turn that down?" And they're like, "Yeah, I will," because you're not being a dick about it. But if they were like doing all this passive aggressive, like when I was on Stokes Croft, right, living on Stokes Croft, bear in mind, it's not like a quiet place.
No.
That's where it's buzzing until like 2 a.m, and then it's like just noise, people getting in fights and stuff like that. And we had students, right? There was a radio on next door. I don't know what radio station it is. It's like an internet radio on one side.
That's Stokes Croft.
Oh, the Stokes Croft, yeah. But like my mate Liam Lakeway, he did there a few times, but I've never been. Like,
was it 1020?
I don't know where 1020 is. Like,
That's on Stokes Croft.
Is that on Stokes Croft?
Yeah, and Lakeway would have played that.
Yeah, it could have been.
Liam.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been that one. So they were fine. Never any complaints from them. But always the ones next door. It was always these like people who they literally came out of their house to ring our buzzer to go like, this is like 10 o'clock in the evening, like, I've got a job to go to tomorrow, and I, unlike others, need my sleep and stuff like that. And one time this guy was like, this guy buzzed on our like little flat thing, and he went, "Can you tell matey boy up there who's making so much noise to put some headphones on?" And I was like, "I am matey boy." And I'm not going to turn my music down. And he was like proper, he was just like so like horrible about it. I was like, fuck him. It wasn't even that late. And he was like, "Can you tell matey boy up there to maybe use some headphones next time?" And I was just like,
oh mate, I've had some hectic ones.
Yeah.
I know there's been a few, so I'm trying to think of in my first year uni house, I had a woman, like, I was like, it's my first uni house, just moved away from Essex, and I'm just like, yeah. So I think I played Jake's Kill the Roach.
Yeah.
Like, so loud, innit? And there was a ring on the doorbell, and this 50, 60-year-old woman was looking at me in the eyes like the death look. She went,
Yeah.
"Can you turn that fucking shit down now?"
Oh, come on, man. Jake's is good.
Yeah, I was like, "Jeez, you not want to kill the roach then?" No, but I had a bad one there, and then like you were saying, the one where someone comes up to you and goes, "I've got a job to go to tomorrow."
Yeah.
Funny thing, before I had the studio, I was making tunes, and I'd work at 7 a.m, and it was like 11 at night, so I was making tunes, and she knocked on the door, and she was like, "Can you turn that? Can you turn it down? I've got work tomorrow." And I went, "So have I. What time you got to get up?" And she went, "I got to get up at 7. I went, "I got to get up at 6. Killed that one, didn't you?
Honestly, but whereabouts was that? Like, was that in like a residential area, or was it like
that was in my house I'm living in now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's like, is that on like a high street or something like?
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, it's in the middle of Redland, so
yeah.
Big up the Redland crew out to you.
It's like I understand. I do understand. Like I've been in a position where, like, for instance, right, I spent 1 New Year's on like living in the student accommodation in Stokes Croft, and Turbo Island turned into fucking Turbo Island. They had like massive, like, do you know what I mean? Like it was, the name was fitting because they had big. I don't know what speakers they had there.
Turbo.
They just had turbo speakers, like, and they were playing, like, I kept on waking up, and every now and then I'd wake up, but it'd be a song that I liked. So I was there, like, just open the window a little bit, and I'd sit there until I fell back asleep. And then I just kept on waking up, and that was until like 6, 7, maybe even 8 o'clock in the morning, because it was New Year's. So they were just partying as long as they could.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that people, like, you know, if that happened during a weekday or something like that, or any other day, you'd have people like on Stokes Croft complaining, and it's like, you've moved to Stokes Croft. I moved to Stokes Croft because I thought it would be quite a lively place to be. And
you know that's not the right place to be, Stokes Croft. I drive down there every day, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have my music on that 20 in my car. I can still hear the rumble of the street, innit? Like,
yeah. I mean, but like, that's what people do. You know, when Gigs Landlord came out,
yeah,
the day that came out, in the evening there was this car, and it was like one of, you know, those proper like lavish, like a Beamer, but it's like a convertible.
Yeah.
He was like driving down, and he parked outside Slicks to get some Slicks, but he was just blasting Whipping Excursion and all the tunes from Landlord, and I was just like,
what, Gigs was doing that?
No, not Gigs.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like Gigs come down.
I wish. No, it was just a guy. It was just a guy in a Bimmer. But I was like, in a Bimmer. But I was like, I was kind of happy, but I know that just like my neighbours they were there for the wrong reasons. It's like them people who move up like above clubs and they want to shut the clubs down. instead of moving to a place which isn't above a club.
Fuck them people.
Yeah, literally. But there's so many of them. Like, they don't use their brains, but they're like, oh, I'm in the right.
Mm. Alright. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll call this one noise complaints.
Yeah, we'll call this noise complaint. Right. As it's just turned 2018, what is your dub of the year?
My dub of the year?
Yeah, for last year. Like, it don't have to be a dub, but it's just a, like, we're talking generic bass music.
No. It's obviously not going to be a dub because I don't get many of them.
Mm.
Actually, Soma has been good to me with dubs, and he sent me the one that was out on Scrubber Dub way before that one was out.
Yeah, I got put on a mailing list for Simply Deep. Big up Aerotonin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put me on his list of dubs, and he sent me something. It was by Mojo. I forgot the EP name now because I'm terrible with names, but they were some fire beats in them. And yeah, that I got them like 2 months before they came out, and I was like, and it said playables as well, so I was just like,
that's a good feeling. That
feeling. So I could play them out wherever I wanted.
My tune of the year last year, there's like, I don't know this word. You know, I think he's called Oshosi. It's spelt like Oxossi.
Oshosi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Big ups you. You're from Brazil.
I think it's Oshosi because I heard a guy talk. I heard it on radio once, and it was like, but he had a song called Tempest, and I don't know if that was.
I know Tempest. Yeah.
I think that might have been out like early 2017.
Yeah.
If not, it was 2016. But there's an Argo tune which I rinse called. I think it's No, but with 3 O's.
No.
No. And I think that was, but I don't know if these are 2017 tunes. I always buy stuff late.
Long gone.
But I'll tell you a tune that I really did like.
Do
you know Open the Till by Grimstickers and Mike Skinner and Getz? Apart from Mike Skinner's verse. Great tune, that.
Didn't like Mike Skinner's verse.
It was alright, I just don't think I got it when it came out. I think I was a little bit like, but
Skinner does his thing in it, but I understand he's doing like spoken word over trap now, isn't he?
Did you hear the new Streets tunes, which is like Burn Bridges?
No,
Bridges.
they're on a list of they're on a list to listen to. I was speaking about them with Mose last night.
But I tried to get tickets to see the Streets. They sold out, when I got to them, it was like, it was stupid because I set an alarm, but I slept through the alarm and I woke up like half an hour, 20 minutes later than they were released.
Yeah.
And all these like articles about how it sold out in like 5-10 minutes.
Well, you missed that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your dub of 2017?
Well, my dub for last year. I really do hope it was released last year because I got it recently. But it is Dub Diggers. It's Spear Dub, but it's not the A side. It's the B side. In Tommy by Dub Diggers, which I played you earlier. What I blended into that weird Iron Man tune.
Oh yeah.
That tune is the best tune of 2017. Hands down is the nuts. As well as Sambu and Sepia's system was ridiculous. Big up your Bristol heads. Big up Samba. But yeah.
We're just trying to look whether this Oshosi tune was 2017.
Watch it be 2016, and you got to change your opinion.
No, I can change my opinion easily.
You can change it.
Yeah, because I got a few things. I mean, see, that was 2016. Let me just check this Argo one.
2015, innit?
Yeah, no, I'm sure it will be. Oh, do you know what? Box London. Fucking, I mean, they're a bit long because I ordered their 12-inch and it never came in the post, and I
hit them up.
I've hit them up and they messaged me back. They followed me back on Twitter just so they could DM me, and he hasn't sorted it out. Whoever was messaging me hasn't sorted it out. But there's a tune on there called like it's by, who is it now? It's called like Rearmed or something like that. Rearmed. I'm gonna find the actual song, the actual name of it, because that is one of the hardest tunes. It's like a grime instrumental.
Yeah.
And it has like there's one on it called like Moroccan Squares, which is a tune, but that's not my favourite one. The producer naming that out because it is a tune worth checking out.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, you go Rearmament by Fallow.
Check that out. We'll put it underneath. Yeah, I see. Have you ever Have you been finding any like tunes that what was released like 10 years ago and you've only heard it now?
Yeah, there's a bunch actually. I mean, that's like when I started listening to dubstep, as I said before, it was stuff like Borgor, who literally released an EP called Borgor Ruined Dubstep, which I think is quite an appropriate name for it. It's got that Nympho tune on it.
Okay.
Where it's just like the lyrics are horrendous. Like it's comedy. It's basically comedy music.
Yeah, definitely.
With like proper like growly, massive basses. But like that led me on to finding like because I mean you probably listened to people like DMZ a lot longer before I even knew they existed.
Yeah.
Because when I heard that shit and I was at school. And I was listening on headphones, like not even the like iPhone headphones, but like the Wilkinson's £5 headphones. You can't hear.
Got the Wilkinson £5
you can't hear the bass at all.
Yeah.
And all you can hear is the drums. So you think like, well, it's got good rhythm, but I can't hear anything else apart from like
Yeah, but we said that before. Like them subs with the
yeah.
And they're really clear and crisp, and we're like. How'd you get on that clear? That's the master. That is the master, though.
Yeah, but my thing is like I started listening. So when I started listening to people like Scream, that one album. I think it's just called Scream with like
Screamism.
The album. Yeah, the album.
Scream, yeah.
I got that like when I was getting into it, and I'd got some decent speakers in my room and that. I had like these little PlayStation Logitech.
Yeah.
Like from the PlayStation 1, basically, we plugged them into the PlayStation 1 when we were like young kids. And I just took them to start making music, and I bought all of this like throwback stuff, and it was all. But it was like Scream, but then I was buying like Noisia.
Yeah.
So it was a bit more
broad.
But like the older stuff I got into probably like 5-6 years ago. So it's not as like old school. It's like I was listening to grime before I was listening to dubstep, basically, because that was like Dizzy Rascal when that came out and all that stuff, like Boy in the Corner.
I've always been a hip hop head until I do you know how I started getting into hip hop?
Go on.
San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, Radio Los Santos, Dre is God.
Yes.
that's how I got into hip hop, and then I heard Mobes put me on dubstep, and he showed me Cyrus.
Yeah.
So. If you've ever heard the Random Trio Cyrus album, let me have a look what it's called. I should know off the top of my head what it's called, but as you can tell, I'm a forgetful guy. Yeah, it was From the Shadows, which I got a vinyl down there of it. And he showed me The Watcher. I remember it.
Yeah.
That tune changed my life, mate. Yeah, I remember him playing like Scream again. Is it Oscell? I can't say it.
Is it something to do with an oscillator?
Well, I'll find the name and you can read it out because it's a dyslexic crew out to you. I do have the tune, but it's just.
I was going to say, was that Watcher tune in any relation to The Watcher by Dr. Dre?
That's strange. That is.
Because I was going to say, I was like, if that had some like, because I love that tune.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It is cool. There it is. That one. How'd you say that?
I think that's oscillator.
Yeah.
So it's like oscillator, but he's put a K in there and that like.
Yeah, big up my dyslexic crew. Couldn't read that, so got assistance. Yeah, well, I that tune's fat. That was one of the first dubstep tunes I ever heard.
I think I heard one that was on YouTube as do you know the first time I ever listened to dubstep? Right, I had no idea it was dubstep, and I remember being at like a family party, and we had like a neighbour, and some of their family was around, and there was this guy who must have been about 15, 16 at the time, and I was probably like 11, 12, and I was making music on a program called Mixcraft.
Mixcraft?
Yeah, by Acoustica, and it was just like a free demo, and it was all like loop based.
Yeah.
So I was just looking through all of the loops that they had, and the dubstep ones I was like, oh, these are sick, and it was like Dub Africa and like
Dub
all this like
Africa. Yeah,
it was just like a bunch of these like just. I was talking to this guy because he was like, oh, you're into your music and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, I've even started making electronic music, like trying to like talk about like because this wasn't like when I considered myself starting making electronic music because it was just loops. But I was like, from then I tried
Luke
to
King.
literally. Well, I mean, this was like it was just within the program,
Mm.
so I didn't know about like any of these like loop masters or anything like that. I just knew about what was in Mixcraft, and this guy was like talking to me like, "Oh, so you listen to dubstep?" And he was like confused because I was like a 12-year-old who was like saying that I listened to dubstep. I didn't, but I just knew about it because of this program, and he thought I was like, so he's just showing me all these tunes on his phone, and then for some reason like I didn't listen to it at all, and then like a year later, I was just on like MySpace because it was still when people like it was just the death of MySpace, and I was just going on people's MySpaces and looking on YouTube at all these tunes. I'm gonna get a Jump Up producer on here actually. Probably heard half of these like old tunes that
I
I
still
had.
love Jump Up, mate, on the MySpace.
Jump Up on MySpace.
I don't like Jump Up now. Like it's a bit. I'm 24, so it's.
Nah, Jump Up's good, man. You just have to get the right producer. I'm gonna get a Jump Up producer on here actually.
I did see that video. You seen that video one went viral for the dubstep? The guy just nodding his head and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
What,
And then
what,
they like mix in different tunes with it.
yeah. Do like what's his name? Rick Ashley. What's the tune?
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Never gonna give you
Yeah.
up.
There's actually a really sick mashup of Never Gonna Give You Up. And it's by a guy called DJ Refreshing Beverage. And it is like, it's that, but it's mixed with Pulse X.
Boom, boom, boom.
But it's the acapella fits perfectly. I've obviously
Yeah.
the time stretched it, but
That's like
I used to bang that out in Stokes Croft. I used to just have my window open and just play it as loud as possible.
You saying that, yeah? That's like I watched a video on Facebook the other day, and it was Chic and Gucci Gang.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
That went perfectly. What do you think is Gucci Gang as a tune?
I like it, man.
It's catchy, isn't it?
I think it's just I listen to a lot of that sort of stuff, but as like it's just people having fun in the studio and that. And when you watch like these like videos and that, there's a guy called Adam22, and he knows a lot of all these like he does podcasts with all these like mumble rappers and LA rappers.
Do they mumble when they talk?
I mean, some of them do, but he spends a lot of time with people like in the studios and stuff, and like documents it and that, which I suppose is good for like historic purposes, so he can like look back and there's like documented people in studios and seeing how they work and that. But it is interesting, like they're capturing like. I mean, you can look into it and say, oh, they're capturing a moment, and this is the time of mumble rap. But it's just like they're having fun, and like he's 16, 17, isn't he? Lil Pump, isn't he? So like he's making a lot of money. Yeah, but doing some fun shit.
So yeah, I agree with it. I am into my trap on an extent. Like I like Dave East and that, but I like rappers who their pronunciation, ASAP Rocky pronunciation on point. Yeah.
What about like is that just your opinion with trap? Because I mean, you could say the same with like, you know how like Americans have latched onto certain UK grime. Yeah. Because people like Stormzy and Skepta, they say words and people can understand what they're saying. Like if an American was listening to Gets, what are they gonna think? They're gonna be like this.
A distortion. Gets is a distortion on the mic.
But even when he doesn't, like the way he uses words is just nuts. When I first listened to Gets, I didn't think he was good.
He's amazing.
One of my friends, it's like I didn't think he was good because I couldn't understand what he was doing. And my friend was like, I had a friend at college who was like, "You're shit. Like how can you listen to Gets and not think he's good?" And it was because
your mate said that.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
No, he said how can you not listen to Gets and think he's good? So he likes Gets.
Oh, big ups you.
Yeah. and so I was like, at the time, I would have been the guy you'd have been like, fuck you too. Yeah. You'd have been looking at me like, what? Like, who is this guy who says he even listens to grime? Because like, I mean, to be fair, I was a hypocrite because I liked people like DEE. And that's like, yeah, he's making noises too. But the thing is, I couldn't
pick up D-Dubs.
I wasn't like listening to a lot of the lyrics. I was just listening to people I thought sounded interesting, and if the beat was good. Yeah. And the thing with Gets is like once you know what he's doing with it, it's incredible. Have you seen his behind the bars? Or one of his behind the bars where it's got all the words like flashing up on the screen, and it's like linking them together. Like and it has all the syllables that fit with each syllable, and it shows how much. Yeah, it's like. Honestly, it's one of the craziest freestyles, or not freestyles, but like it's a crazy, you know, obviously he wrote it, but it is a crazy freestyle to watch.
There was so what this is a question for you.
Yeah.
biggest grime MC, like your favourite grime MC of all time?
I think it might be Trim.
Trim. Yeah,
Shank
you do
Van
like.
Telly.
Yeah, you do like Trim, innit? Yeah, I know.
I love Trim, but I think like I didn't like him as much as I do now. But I got the 1-800 Dinosaur album that he did.
I think I know.
It's like the green cover in that, and it's got like a RPG, and there ain't ever been a Dan like me. That one. Fucking, it's called Man Like Me. I forgot what it was called. And there's a song in it called Stretch, which is like, it's almost like spoken word over just atmosphere and sub, and like, I mean, obviously there's a tempo to it, but it's just really sparse. And his bars are just sick. So I think he does a tune with James Blake, which you wouldn't expect
Did you hear James Blake? Like, sorry to change the subject.
Yeah.
Did you hear his new tune?
No, I'm not. I don't really listen to James Blake.
I wasn't all too keen on it.
Oh really?
I made go listen to it after this. Go listen to it. Tell me what you think. But
I mean, I'll need to hear his like acclaimed stuff first, because I don't really like. I don't know why I don't listen to him, but he's just one of those people I've never really like. Just never been drawn to listen to, apart from the instrumental he did for Trim, which I thought was quite. I mean, I hope it is James Blake, because otherwise I've like fucked up. I think it's James Blake. But who would you say is your favourite grime MC, or just UK MC?
Yeah, because we can class that nowadays. I'd say, being from Essex, Devlin.
Yeah.
Big, that's just me being local, but Devlin is ridiculous. Like, if you haven't delved into Devlin, his old freestyles, his old radio freestyles, April Showers, and they're just ridiculous. And he done extra, and he parred he was 17 years old.
Oh yeah.
And he sent for Wiley. Who sends for the Godfather?
Yeah, and now Wiley like really rates him.
Yeah, Wiley puts him in his top 10, top 10.
I mean, I bashed one of his albums. I just can't remember what the album was. I'd listen to it all the time on the way to school and stuff like that. But
that must have been Rolling Papers.
Might have been, yeah.
With the ones with the Rizzler papers on the front.
I'm not entirely sure. It was one I remember. I legitimately downloaded it off this website.
Legitimately.
And it had a tune called 1982, and it was like proper like electric guitar, like sort of.
Well, he's white, isn't he? Like
but it was good. I mean, that's probably why it appealed to me, because I was like a little metalhead, and I was like, oh, what's this?
Do you like guitar? Do you?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a guitarist. Like.
Same here. Like, as you can see, you're sitting right next to the Jackson Flying V.
The Ibanez G10, is it?
It's a GRG. GRG. He knew it was there. He nearly got it.
I got the G.
Yeah. What about upcoming grime?
Mez. Uncle Mez, man.
Yeah, Uncle Mez is
fucking
ridiculous,
Mez,
mate.
Magnum 1, Magnum 2.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think as well. I mean, I do think Big Zoo's mad.
I rated his EP. You know his new one.
Yeah.
Remember that one on.
I mean, I liked listening to him on Radar, and
he's a great host.
And he had some. I can't remember what it might have been in like a slightly older. I mean, it can't have been that old, but like 2016 freestyles and stuff like that. Because it was with him and like MTP, so like AJ Tracy before he blew, and did tunes with like Denzel Curry and that.
Denzel Curry, did you say?
Yeah, he did. He's done a few tunes.
Yeah. What AJ Tracy done it with? It's that Alakazam tune.
Yeah, and he did the remix for that. What's it called? It's that tune off Ultimate. It's an absolutely incredible tune. It's got Rick Ross on it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
What was AJ Tracy on the Ultimate remix?
No, it wasn't the Ultimate remix, but I'll find the track for you, because it's like, oh mate, that tune is nuts. Because that was like the first thing. Denzel Curry came to the UK, and I was gonna buy tickets to his London show.
Yeah.
And I didn't get around to it, obviously, because I'm long as fuck. and there was like, this video came out of just like Denzel Curry knocking about London where AJ Tracy lives, so obviously just kind of.
Yeah, boys, isn't it?
Yeah, they just linked up and they shot like the video. So.
Yeah, I like the video for Alakazam. That was cool.
I mean, yeah, I actually needed to see Denzel Curry. I need to get tickets at some point.
Well, when he's in the UK next, Florida based, isn't he?
No, he lives in London now.
Does he?
No.
I was going to say, I was like, that is exclusive information. What, you've been round his yard?
Yeah. I've got pictures on my Snapchat. Naughty Head, that's it. Naughty Head featuring Rick Ross and AJ Tracy UK remix. Incredible one.
Something new for me. I don't know if it was new for you though.
I mean, it might not even be that good a remix. I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Denzel Curry ULT album, it's incredible.
Equalizer, you heard Equalizer?
That's off the EP, isn't it?
Yeah.
That Zeltron 6 Bill is one of the best tunes, and that's not even like trap. That's it's like a modern US hip hop tune. And I don't know who's on that tune. There's like another rapper on it, because I've got that EP on here. Zeltron 6 Bill featuring Lil Ugly Mane.
Little Ugly Mane.
Lil Ugly Mane. But
That is a name right there.
But honestly, I'll give you like a list of these tunes because like I like the Equalizer and Hate Government and that.
Yeah.
But they're like that's quite a lot of like you know how like XX Tentacion does all that like.
J. Cole come out yesterday and said he rated XXX.
Yeah, that's on the Adam 22 vlog as well because he went to the No Jumper. I think it's called like On Some Shit, like a BMX shop.
Yeah.
He just turned up and was talking to this Adam 22 guy about religion and politics and.
All of that, yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
60.
As you can tell, I'm into my 6-7 at the moment.
UK drill.
Yeah,
Spartan Harlems.
Yeah.
410.
So we've got about 7 minutes left. I'll say we wrap this up.
Yeah.
In a minute.
What time are we on?
Where? I don't even know. Yeah. So we've got this episode. The next one we'll have a guest. This one we're just giving it a little feel. This is the test session.
Hopefully we'll have a guest next time.
Oh, we will. We will.
If my plan falls through.
If your fan falls through, I'll just get one of the wavy guys to come in and chat about shit. But yeah, we've pretty much got this. We'll put some tunes in the throughout. As we're both producers, we can't use other people's tunes because I find that would be a bit cheating.
I mean, I don't think we need any in like the background unless.
No. Unless we're talking about I feel like we should come up with some. We'll come up with like dub of the days, and we'll actually play them soon when we're a bit more organised. Because obviously we're both long, but we thought this would be a.
We're both working on not being long.
Yeah, we're both working on actually putting stuff out into the public eye. But yeah, we'll see what we can get on. We've been speaking to some few people, and we hope that Cellar Talks could actually be videoed in the future and stuff. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we send it. Hopefully we'll send this out to some people and they go, "Oh, we want to jump on this."
Yeah. I mean, if not, we'll force them.
Just hold a gun to them and then
not
studio.
like that. You just start shelling out, like getting we'll get some big name people on, but.
Hopefully.
Paying them to do it in Slick's chicken meals.
Yeah. I'll pay them in Tesco meal deal. I'll get you a water. Yeah, like
Evian.
Yeah, the really strong Evian water gives you that hydration. That's a good name for a tune. To be fair, I might think of that one for a tune. But yeah, I think as it just hit an hour and a half, I think we should wrap this up now.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say?
No, I don't. I've enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, it's just been quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll catch you on the next one. We've got myself, Jay Favours. If you want to, like I said at the start, if you want any, if you're a DJ and you want to live stream a mix or send us a mix over to put out, go for it. We're willing to help out the community of bass producers, bands, even. Yeah, just hit me up.
Creative people around Bristol.
If you want any music videos and all that, any recordings, hit us up on info@Cellar Tapes with and J Fave Cellar Tapes. Go on our Facebook page, Cellar Tapes Recording Studio Bristol.
And if you want to send any dubs, you can hit me up at zonaemusic@gmail.com.
Yep.
That's ZONAE music@gmail.com. Send me all of the exclusives.
We'll put all it in the bio, but yeah, send him through some exclusive. He's looking for them dubs because I've been telling him for time he's got to start mixing in it, like.
Yeah.
Which he will.
Yeah, I will.
All right, we'll call that a wrap. Big ups, Bristol.
Yeah. See you in a bit.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Okay. Let me lay down how it is.
I figured it out.
Figured out what?
You know how we were wondering what we were gonna do for money and all, being as we don't want to get jobs and whatnot?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Let me lay down how it is. I can't waste the line like I'm firing from the hip. I don't wanna see my son like I'm watching an eclipse. And I don't wanna see my son like I'm awful with kids. I don't wanna see my son like inspiration's a bitch. Reiterating the same statement to make a point. with it. Cleaning out the dirt like there's an ointment that I'm rubbing in. And